Welcome to our side of the fence. Fresh ideas, funny personalities. It's going to be a good time. My name's Tim Wells. I am co-owner of Tim's Fencing and current sitting president for the company.
I'm Sarah Wells. I am married to Tim Wells, co-owner of Tim's Fencing.
I am Logan Tharp, sales manager of Tim's Fencing.
I'm Milo Joker. I do a lot of things at Tim's Fencing.
New title, actually.
New title.
New title, marketing executive at Tim's Fencing.
Let's go.
You.
There we go.
You. Alrighty.
Right.
Well, things that are going to be coming to you, over the coming days, months, years are just everything from personal development and business to, we'll have some other local business owners on. We'll have some local celebrities with us. We're really just trying to bring a new twist to everything from social events going on in the 865 to fun subject matters we'll be talking about. You'll hear the good, the bad, the ugly. We got a lot of great client stories. We have a lot of great employee stories, past, present, future employees. And we're just excited, honestly. Even if nobody listens to this, I'm still excited. Maybe call me a narcissist. I'll just listen to myself talk. Just if this ever hits the airwaves, I'm like, hey, that was it. That's us. So I think it's going to be a good time. What you got, Milo?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. We're going to talk, like you said, about a lot of different subjects, local businesses. We have a fishbowl here. Tim had this good idea called Fishbowl Fridays. So we have different subjects on it. Could be anything, do aliens exist? I'm sure that's in there. So that's going to be a thing where we talk about, 15 and 20 minutes sometimes on this pod. We'll just pick something randomly and talk about it.
Absolutely.
As well as having serious conversations. So,
because let's be real, everybody's at least 5% a conspiracy theorist. So, I think there's just a broad, vast world of subjects that we can all talk about. And some of them more passionately than others. Moon landings. And I just think it's going to be great. And do you know what's also cool, too, is none of us right here were born in Knoxville, but we all call Knoxville home. I think that's neat. Like Sarah and I originally grew up in the Pacific Northwest, and I was born outside of Portland, Oregon, and had the opportunity to grow up in a small logging community. And it's really funny because even though when you think of the Pacific Northwest or the West Coast, especially residing out here in the Southeast, you definitely have a perspective and a bias probably just due to what goes on there socially and politically and everything else. But Sarah and I frequently talk about this. There were these kids, teenagers that we grew up with that legitimately had an accent like they're from West Virginia. Mm-hmm. They were, all part of the same religion and, definitely all blue collar workers too, all tradesmen, very successful trades company owned by them. And so I think finding home in the South was pretty easy just because, like I said, although we were outside of Portland, Oregon a little ways, the community we grew up in was definitely very blue collar, very prideful of a hard day's work. It was big news when my town got a gas station. I think I was about 15. We got our first gas station and red light in the same year. We liked the gas station. We didn't like the red light though. That was some BS. So
I feel like y'all's country accents has blossomed a little bit over the past few years.
See, I disagree with Tim.
I've known you.
Moving to the South was a culture shock.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit for you?
Everybody drives really fast to do everything else in their lives extremely slow.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Good way to put it.
They talk slow, they walk slow.
Even
do whatever you're
Highway.
doing
Has
slow.
anybody drove on Maynardville Highway lately? God, everybody goes 85 miles an hour through those curves, and then they stop, get out of their car, and I've never seen somebody walk slower in my life. Never seen anybody walk slower.
But Tri-Cities.
Tri-Cities.
Wait, Tri-Cities.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Couple Tri-Cities boys, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tri-City boys. We could do a separate podcast.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Tri-City boys.
I feel like I need to start writing things down.
A lot to talk about here. I grew up in East Tennessee in the Tri-Cities, but I've traveled a lot too. my mom lived in Canada for like 8 years of my life, so I'd go up there.
Every time, okay, so I heard it's really hard to get into Canada. Like if you've even had a DUI or like any sort of anything, like you've been arrested for like a little thing, or they don't let you into Canada.
They don't let you be a citizen, I think.
No,
I think they don't even let you visit. Nobody be going to Canada.
I mean,
though.
I've never been to Canada, and I
Neither have
don't have.
I kayaked into Canada once without a passport.
Really?
We might need to shave that off the air, I guess, if political hostility develops between the U.S. and Canada any further. But
The what are they called? The Mounties. The guys on horses. They're just gonna bust through this door.
I just think of
take
that
you away in
episode of
handcuffs.
Yellowstone where they're like all on the other side of the river and like Casey's chasing those guys.
That was pretty sick.
The
We did
Mounties.
Yellowstone, but that's such a good show.
That's a great show.
Yeah. Was your mom born in Canada, or did she just decide to move to Canada?
No, she moved there for work.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah.
Got called
Does
up
she
to go
collect
to the-
maple syrup?
I was going to ask the same
What
thing.
do you
I
do?
need to know.
Yeah, she's
A lady of
collects
maple.
syrup.
She's the one that
She's,
pounds those.
She's a moose herder.
Please don't hear that.
Just an old glacier gal, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. No.
What part
She's
of
like
Canada
spin off of.
was it like?
Toronto.
Toronto, okay.
It's Toronto.
The New York of Canada.
Yeah, big city.
So have you met Drake?
We go way back.
Yeah, I
We
figured.
go way
You
back.
guys, you look like him, so I
Is
figured
Drake
that.
Canadian?
Drake is Canadian, and so is Nicki Minaj.
He's got Tennessee ties too, because his dad, I think, is from Memphis.
Wow.
And then
That's true.
He was
So you basically are brothers.
Yeah, we're basically related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're boys.
We're boys, but
Does your mom talk different now at all?
Does
She
she
talk
say
like a
A?
Canadian.
she did pick up some Canadian slang.
See, I like accents. I have a theory that if you, and I've told Lexi about it, and she thought I was stupid, but
Lexi's his wife, for
if-
anybody not
yeah,
knowing what we're
Lexi's my
talking about.
wife. But if on purpose, if you talked, let's say Scottish, for 5 years, and you just on purpose talked Scottish, as well as you could possibly do it, and then you set a date, and then you said, I'm not going to talk, I'm going to talk the way I used to again. I don't think you could.
You don't think you could revert it? I mean, I just.
If you never even,
You'd get so
your
set
thoughts
into
would
it.
become Scottish, everything would become Scottish.
Like you're wearing
And then when you
kilts.
try to go back, and you would never be able to talk the same again. Because it's similar as like if you sent Brantley to Scotland, and you went and picked him up in
Interesting.
10 years.
Brantley's my son.
He
Well,
would
Tim and
probably,
I's son.
is your son. He would probably talk similar Scottish. Like he's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
ingrained. But it's funny how because Lexi and I were talking about that last night. If we put Avery in Scotland right now and picked her up in 10 years, she'd be Scottish.
She'd be
talk-
a little Scottish gal.
It's so crazy how accents work.
Okay, I'm curious of your theory on this then, because here in East Tennessee, you get like the four of us. I feel like the four of us don't really have like a Southern accent, but then we have like a customer or we have staff members or that their Southern accent is so thick you almost need like a translator. You
I think
have
we
no
should
idea what they're
coin
saying.
this term as accent shedding. It's like the
Tone switching.
chameleon nature, because I've seen you do it. I've seen Logan do it. I've seen Sarah do it. I know I do it too. Like if we're dealing with somebody that just moved down from like a northern state or a west coast state, like we all just
Kind of drop it. a
like
little
we
bit.
forget we even know the word y'all. But then, you send me out to the holler, if I'm up in Union County, we're up Granger County, man, we just pull it out. We just pull out the Southern accent. We're just good old boys at that
It's
point.
like a sales thing. You're just
It
trying
probably is
to
a sales
make someone
thing.
comfortable. You don't want to be the other side of the coin when you're trying to relate to somebody.
Absolutely.
It's easy to do.
Okay, but why do you think people have like really thick Southern accents here and some people don't? I'm curious. Like the Appalachian accent,
I think it's just if you embrace it or not. Like, I didn't want to be that guy. That
Yeah.
was just you couldn't articulate yourself or you couldn't whatever. And growing up the way I did, like, and then I felt like my parents kind of took it on to where they didn't want us to just be hicks, but like accept that we live in Tennessee or whatever, but they want us to be professional and be able to,
Professional
like,
hicks here in
like,
East Tennessee.
just representing them and representing
Absolutely.
everything. And so
Because Logan comes from a real interesting background. grew
Logan
up.
will get his own episode.
Oh, absolutely.
He gets his whole own episode.
Yeah.
He's got some good stories. I'm excited to dive into those one day.
We're going to have a lot of episodes that are probably just staff members and getting to know them because they're so interesting.
We are a diverse group here. We
Yeah.
are a diverse group. It is very interesting.
Would you all say that there is, I mean, we spoke a little bit about the East Tennessee Appalachian accent. Is there some sort of accent in Oregon?
No.
No?
Because I feel like it's just like a goulash of people. Like, nobody's from Oregon either,
Like everybody's moved
I don't
there.
think that there is, but there totally is.
I
When
mean,
I hear people on TV from Portland, I know they're from.
Is
you
it the
talk like
lack
you're
of
from Portland
accent
still.
though? Is it the lack of
That could
accent that's the accent? Like
How-
that's my question.
It's how you say. I don't know.
Because they say pop instead of soda. Is that
It's
the
not
thing?
that.
No.
It's similar to how
It's like a Midwest thing.
it's.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch New Girl, and what's his name, Coach, isn't he from Portland?
Yeah.
And so you can tell he talked like you would know that, and like you kind of say things similar. It's like you know that.
What about California?
California.
Do they have their own accent?
Like Tommy kind of talks from California.
Tommy does.
You're
go-
right. Tommy
yeah.
does have
Tommy
like a
is
very.
He talks like Paul Walker. He kind of had a Paul Walker vibe.
I
Like
feel
a-
like after his weight loss journey too this year, he
Yeah.
looked a little bit like Paul. All right.
Tommy's my cousin.
Yeah.
For people that will listen to this that don't know us,
Yeah.
Tommy. Well, Thomas.
he was a staff
Edwards.
member for a little while.
Oh, yeah, a couple times.
A couple. He journeyed back to the West Coast.
But I don't feel like a lot of people accept that. Like that's one of the weird things of the world are accents,
True.
or even just how many languages there are. But like accents are crazy. We were talking. I don't know if this is appropriate here, but last night we're as well talking about accents, like the most unattractive accents, like what those would be.
German, right off.
I said Scottish because we saw this girl on TikTok talk Scottish. It's like absolutely not. Yeah, German would be rough.
I feel like like a
sounds
dude
so
can pull
angry.
off German,
Yeah.
yeah, but like a female speaking a German accent, like ling, 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 like it's so
Oh,
intense.
Russian too. You know,
Russian.
Eastern European in general. I agree. Is just like very heavy, and I just think.
Oh,
the,
Tim, you have to do your Eastern European accent.
No, I can't do it right now.
Oh, it's so good.
But I always think of accents, and I'm like, how's that sound?
There's
Like,
a
what's pillow talk in that accent sound like? And I'm like,
what?
nah, pillow talk of it. You know what I mean? Like you're laying next to your spouse in bed, and you're like, like you're about to fall asleep. You're wanting to talk real soft. Is there, like, I think with the heavy enunciation accents, that'd be extremely difficult. Like the German, the Russian. And did we bring the basketball roster in here?
I gave it to you. Do you want me to go find it?
No, it's okay. We can just touch.
No,
on
I'll
that.
go find it. Hold
But-
on.
Or you could just touch
No,
on
no.
what it is.
We can just touch
Yeah,
on
Okay.
what it is. Yeah,
Talk about it.
absolutely. So we like to have staff activities at Tim's Fencing. And so, just things we've done in the past, like Knox County Sheriff's Department hosts a med volleyball tournament. We've done that. We've played softball and basketball. That's about it, I guess, sports-wise.
We played a soccer game last
We
weekend.
played soccer game,
Yeah.
with some of the crews. That was a lot
was
of fun. And Logan missed it for like a really lame reason of some sort. But
This is the anniversary trip with his wife. I don't think that's super lame.
Gatlinburg. Anyway, this is our third basketball season. Yeah, we played winter, spring. And so finally, we're looking a little shabby. We just had those reversible black on one side, white on the other side jersey with some numbers, which were
I
great.
cricket those on my own.
I was there too.
I was proud.
I was proud of them too. But we
They
decided to
worked.
order real jerseys because we're the post drivers. Couple meetings there, a little basketball, a little fence. And Milo and Sarah had the great idea to just use a name generator for all of the names on the jerseys rather than our names. And oh my gosh, y'all, I cannot wait to release every name to everybody that's playing.
So all the jerseys are at random sizes, numbers, and names. So the boys are just gonna like randomly get a jersey. My favorite name is Potato Bug Putney.
What are some other? Can anybody remember?
Winston Jazz Hands Wallbanger.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a medium, too. That's unfortunate. That's a medium, but it's a medium. So that'll be Nick.
Let's see. We got
There you go.
what is it? Bud Light.
Yeah,
It's
well,
Bud Light and then the lights in quotations.
Yeah, Bud Light.
Light, yeah.
Something.
Oh.
They're gonna be great. It's
they are going to be good. Push Pop,
Oh yeah, Push Pop, Spanky.
Spanky.
So I
Those-
think it'd be good to come on here and we reveal the box score and maybe
Absolutely.
some clips or
Yeah,
something.
some clips, some
Yeah.
selfies.
Milo
We could even
breaking
have the
some
jerseys
ankles.
on.
Well, all three of you guys play, so
that'd
I'll
be
just do
cool.
like a sound. I'll be like, and Potato Bug Putney passes to Push Pop, and
Yeah.
Push Pop passes, and we scored a 3.
Yeah, Spanky for 3. Denied.
Buttermilk Jenkins with
Oh,
the
yeah.
foul.
Buttermilk
Buttermilk.
Jenkins. It is. It's funny though. It's gonna be. I can't wait for basketball.
It's funny because it would be such like it's just a casual rec league.
Absolutely.
And then if we
I mean,
do
it doesn't
the
feel
interviews and
casual when
everything-
you're.
I-
Yeah,
You
we
guys-
play pretty hard.
I don't think any part of it feels casual. Like, I think guys walk off of UT basketball game and they play rec league.
Yeah.
Straight up, there's been like the
Uh-huh.
QB up in Johnson City that played last winter season. I mean, there's definitely some athletes that
It wasn't
probably
supposed
should.
to be that way.
It wasn't supposed to be. You're right.
They're just no match for the post drivers, though. if
There's
I have
no
to say
match.
something
We
myself.
won one game last season. Proud of it,
But that
too.
was better than the 0 games prior to that season.
And it's
Yeah.
better than the 0 runs in our softball season. We literally did not score one run all season, but it was like, once again, rec league. These were like nationally ranked adult men's softball teams. Like, I don't think
Some
any
tough
of them didn't
competition.
hit a dinger. Like, every time they're home run, home run, home run.
But when we did med volleyball, we placed 3rd in the tournament.
You're
and I
right.
was proud
Mud
of that.
volleyball is good.
Lots of injuries, but placed third. I don't think any of us were. All of our, because mud volleyball, we didn't wear shoes. We're not pros like the rest of those kids down there in the rocks.
That
Logan,
would get you.
Logan scratched his
Yeah.
cornea.
Yeah. Logan walked away with an eye injury.
He was looking
A
like Ray
serious
Charles
eye
leaving.
injury.
Yep.
All right.
Yep, Juan was beat up. We were all beat up.
We seem to all get beat up in these rec leagues, though. Like
You're right.
Dad went down for the season. I
Patella tendon.
don't know. Basically,
Gosh,
basically
couldn't even
ACL.
sell fence.
Couldn't even sell fence. Out for the season.
John had to get permission from Jennifer to play. He's playing though.
He's playing.
He's playing.
Awesome.
So we're really gonna be bad.
Really.
John's one of our sales. They're both sales guys.
One of our senior AARP members here at Tin
Yeah.
Swinsing. Retired detective.
I'm sure they'll be on the pod.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, John will
they'll have some good
100%
stories.
be on the
Because
pod.
he was a little insight. He was a professional wrestler. when
John's
he was
lived
young.
like 20 lives. He's also a detective with Knox County PD for 20 plus years.
Yep.
He also told me when we set this all up that he used to be an actor.
That's
Really?
interesting.
Didn't know that
Well,
either.
You kind of need that for the wrestling, right?
Yeah, true.
You know?
True. I mean, if you're a wrestler, I think you can say you're an actor.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Did you say that he was acting?
You know, I tried to ask him, and then in typical John fashion, he's like, "Well, you'll find out." And like, walked
He was an
away.
actor of some sort.
Of some sort.
Honestly,
Do you guys want to try and do a fishbowl for our first
I
one?
think we need. I think we need to do a fish.
Okay,
bowl.
Logan, you pull the
Alright.
fishbowl.
Okay.
I think some of these though, like, really need to be like certain people need to be in here. So
That's not bad.
the fishbowl is random topics all staff members put in there, and we're gonna set a 15-minute timer and just converse it.
That's a good question, though.
Okay.
How long before we think in-person stores will be obsolete?
Oh, that's a good one. Let
That
me
is
check
a
this
good
Solid.
timer.
I probably have some pretty strong beliefs about this. Just
I see that.
especially in the South. Man, I mean, it's just hard to believe, really the progression of like Amazon and, like Sarah and I have probably been Amazon Prime members, for instance, since probably about that first year. Out west, like, I mean, I'd say like Amazon ordering where it is now in Tennessee is probably where it was out west in like 2013, 14, all that. Like, I remember when it was like, you could prime order and it'd be there the next day, even the same day, later in the day, early enough, like when that quick ship first started. And it's just hard to believe that day's not eminently approaching, that we see like 50% of retailers just go under. I mean, I just, like the mall.
The mall-
mall is a ghost. Well, the mall's picked up lately. I'd say it's had a little bit of
The
a surge
mall
in
in
West
East
Town.
Tennessee is alive and thriving. But I hadn't been to a mall in years until I moved here.
Dick's saved them all.
You know what's kind of ironic? The Easttown Mall here closed down.
Oh, yeah.
And was actually, the land was bought by Amazon, and it's actually a fulfillment center.
Yeah,
So,
you're right.
You're right.
if that says anything on the topic, I mean, we're going in that
That's
direction.
the death of retail right
I never even
there.
thought about that that way.
I know.
It's almost out of spite.
It's a checkmate.
Amazon was like one down.
Yeah.
But even grocery shopping, like honestly, like Sarah and I will go to Food City or Kroger or whatever on the way home just to get specific items for a specific meal or fresh veggies. But outside of that, it's still like we got Click List, pretty much any food retailer you can even order online and pick up in person. Like, I don't know, and it's way more efficient. It is way more efficient. Now, do I love it if like the person that is doing the food delivery like chain smokes in their car, and you're like even just getting your avocados out and you got to wash them because they smell like straight up, Marlboro 100s? No, I don't love that. But I'll tell you what, it sure saved 45 minutes of the day of driving to, or even just stopping at the grocery store on the way home.
I think like I see it as like the innovation is just lopsided. So to where it's just like the innovation it's only going towards online and ordering online and everything like that. And there's great minds going towards that. And there's not enough innovation and great minds going towards buying from stores like before. Now you have supermarkets, and the innovation was like, okay, instead of having a grocery stand and then a retailer will combine that, and then you started having music and certain lighting and self-checkouts and things like that. But that's just like halted. Like that's not getting better necessarily. Shopping in store, it's getting better and quicker to get things online. You'll start having drones dropping on your porch and things like that, and that's rapidly, I'm sure, approaching, and that's just...
Yeah, you're right. The shopping experience hasn't changed in a couple of decades, though.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a female, or maybe, but like I feel like our generation will correct it because we all want, like, for one, we want instant, but for two, I feel like we all want something that's like unique and special, and people are like, oh, that purse is so cool. Where did you get that from? And you're like, oh, I got it from this little store downtown, and such's mama made it, or whatever. Or like our generation wants that like uniqueness.
Oh,
So I feel like
yeah.
we'll correct it, but I feel like we're gonna overcorrect it. Like Walmart won't be a thing that we all shop at, or maybe even Target won't be a thing we shop at anymore. But we'll all go to like that little store.
But then piggybacking on that, I agree that like we all want something unique, but like also name brands. I'd say outside of footwear, name brands are less and less important I remember when we were in high school and like it was the buckle craze, and like even beyond like it felt like American Eagle was dying out, and buckle, like we all wanted some sparkle butt jeans. You wanted to get your Doc Martin brown leather shoes. You wanted your Affliction or American Fighter or whatever, and like that was a real thing. Of like these teenagers, young 20s, whatever, young adults spending $150 on a pair of jeans, $80 on a t-shirt, and I just think those days are gone. Like even outside, like I honestly wear Tim's Fencing stuff 90% of the time, honestly, because there's a lot of shirts we've done that just fit me really good. I like them. I'm also a self-promoter. I'm a manifester, that's all part of that. But even when I don't wear Tim's Fencing gear though, I'll usually wear like a plain t-shirt, like I have some Chubbies, this and that shorts and some Chubbies polos. But even outside of that, like y'all see me a lot wear like printed button ups, and they're not like, heck, I can tell you who made them off of Temu, but you know what I mean? Or Amazon, like it's just so not brand specific anymore. But at least I felt, middle school and high school, which, that'll age me. So we're talking like early 2000s, like it was about the brand name.
Was it the same for you? Because you're...
Oh, yeah. I guess there's a little bit of an age difference here. So I think you're about 8 years older, Logan. You're like 3 or something. And I'm 24. So, yeah, I remember middle school. And I don't know if it's middle school is just terrible for everybody.
Savage.
But, yeah, I mean, the big brands, American Eagle, Hollister.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's
Oh,
like there were tiers
Hollister.
to it, right? So like
Abercrombie
Hollister,
and Fitch.
Abercrombie,
And then
you got your
Zoomies.
American
you know,
Eagle,
those skate brands.
and then Aeropostale. So everybody's wearing that stuff, and then
If you didn't have Sperry's on and
if you
black
did,
socks,
Oh,
some
man.
black Nikes, yeah, Elite socks. Those
yeah,
are
the
big.
elite sock, you had to have those.
That
Dang,
was not
see.
a thing on the
See
West
Vans,
Coast.
those tie-up short Vans. They're like, I still
Uh-huh.
wear those Vans. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
yeah.
we all know me. I
Classics.
walk around in Vans a lot of days.
Those are timeless, though.
But
Interesting.
what about the skate brands though? Those probably
Oh
weren't
yeah,
as
was
cool.
that a big thing here? The
This
skate
is
brands.
skate brands,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
outside of
Skate
Vans? Like
Vans.
when we were, it was like Etnies,
DCs,
Vans,
yeah.
DC.
America.
The
Yeah.
shoes that were like
So
huge.
puffy. Yeah.
Osiris's?
They're like, yes, they're
Yeah.
like marshmallows with laces on them. You know, I mean,
Did y'all have ice creams? Did y'all ever see ice creams?
No, what's an ice cream?
They were skate shoes, but they were called ice creams, and I wore them, and they were just decked out colors, and it was.
Wait, was
very
it
cool.
the-
Bring 'em back.
But
Was it like Etnies? How they would have like
or was
the
ice cream
Etnie-
the brand?
Or was
Ice
it,
cream was the brand.
oh,
And
I
it
gotta
was-
look at these up now.
We
they're
never-
pretty sweet. I'd love to have some now. I wish I'd have kept them. But
like I loved Etnies because they would come in like all the different colors. Like I had a checkered pair.
See,
That
this is where it'd be cool to like pull up ice cream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we will, and we can superimpose this, but something like
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, those are cool.
Those are cool. Maybe
they
they
did
weren't
not-
a West Coast thing.
No, see,
I've
and
never even heard
that's
of these.
interesting to me.
They were killer.
Where'd you get
these?
those?
I actually think I bartered for them, like from a friend.
So another thing for you guys to know, the Tharps are barterers, negotiators, extraordinaires. Like they might not even want the item, but if they can get a deal on it, they're buying it. Like,
Okay, but do you remember going to the mall and like being like, "Oh God, Mom, Lord, I really want these Hollister zip-up jackets with the fur on the top," and like just
fur.
being like, "Please, Mom, please, please, please." Did you do that?
I
you go
did.
to the
I
mall?
remember one instance in particular is like the North Face jackets were really popular.
man.
And that there was just kind of
$200
fuzzy.
sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was like 100, 150, and that was a lot for a jacket. And,
Still
but
is.
It still
It
is.
was like everybody cool has this jacket.
Yeah.
You
Right.
gotta get this jacket.
Right.
So I think I actually convinced my dad. I was like, I gotta get this jacket.
If you saw somebody in a North Face jacket, you were like, that is a different way of living.
yeah,
That is
they're probably getting in a Porsche
Yeah.
here in a minute.
You got? Do you? I
another
don't know
side
if you,
of warmth.
I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember that, but Tim got me my first North Face jacket when we were in high school. I know, for Christmas.
See, I worked at
Nice.
horse ranches,
Yeah.
so I was ahead of the fiscal scale at
Well-
16, 17. I was buying my girls some nice stuff.
Well, I think he also
Oh.
thought it was going to be a way for him to get me to go snowboarding with him.
Did it
Still,
work?
No.
9 years
Unless you
married.
don't like the cold.
I
No
still
cool.
haven't been snowboarding. Nope.
Just need a couple more North Face jackets.
She's
We
also
good
a
to
little accident prone, so I was also like, oh, is this a good idea? You're like captain of the dance team. Couldn't take you away from that.
It was a very important role.
It was, but I mean, I think that's just like, that was such a peak of retail, getting back to the fishbowl. And I believe that, I just don't know if that's a young folk thing anymore, and like, we don't, with our kid being in first grade, maybe we're not as connected to the high schoolers.
Well, ask
but
Milo. He's a young folk.
How
No,
many times have you been to the mall in the last year?
Yeah, that's my question. You want to go get Kate something? Kate's his
4?
girlfriend.
4 times in
You've
a
been-
year?
Yeah.
What about you, Logan?
Probably twice.
What if you take out
This
dicks,
year.
or is that with dicks in there?
Sorry,
Okay.
if we had dicks in there, then probably 5 or 6.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy, but yeah.
I really like them all.
Sarah, okay, we'll go and we'll do, we'll call it the Wells a la carte. We'll go a little bit before lunch, and then you get to eat whatever you want.
Whatever
so
you want.
Oh, we usually get 3 different lunches,
Yeah.
3 different desserts, and then
Yep.
like Brantley though, great. He goes to private school, so you don't get to pick out any of your clothes, but the shoe game there is intense. So we go to
Yeah.
Dick's and get our shoes.
But for me, it's the impatience for me. Because once the impatience is gone and that's remedied, then it's over. Because for me, I want to go get it and I want it right now. I don't even want to wait a day.
I agree.
If I want something, I need this shirt or I need this pair of pants. I can't take it any longer, even though I totally could. But I want it right now. So as soon as that's over to where I can order it and I got to a little drone coming in my front. That's gone.
But you
That's
don't
done.
want to like try the stuff. Like you don't want to
They
like.
offer that though.
Yeah, you
can
send it
try
back.
it on
You
and
send
send
it
it
back,
back.
yeah.
I feel like
like,
that would take
if-
longer than
it
just
would.
going to get it from the store.
I don't know though, but it's
Just
also
shipping.
okay. True, but weaving the tail, like I'll sympathize with you because I agree. Like if I need it now, I'm just gonna go get it. I don't really want to wait. But also at the same time, like I don't think our generation overshops. I think with the death of retail, we're gonna see a lot less overshopping. Like 5 years ago, like there's this whole craze of simplification, get your closets as small as you can, etc. One of my favorite things to do at home is just look at my closet and I'm like, I haven't worn that in a year, I haven't worn that in a year, I haven't worn like heck, we're gonna do a big car run this weekend because there's some reality to like we all see each other every day and like even throwing Sarah in there, who has a much more diverse selection of clothes to wear probably than the rest of us, if we really chalked it all up, like we all probably wear the same 20 items 90% of the time. Yeah. Shoes,
Yeah.
pants, shirt, like chalk it up to 20. And that's the reality.
I love everything to look like we're fixing to move.
Oh, absolutely. I love that look.
Sidebar: if you're throwing out any North Faces,
If you throw any North Faces,
There you
throw
go.
those
got
my
my
way first.
yours or Milo's.
That would be
Dad.
probably the craziest of that. Is just what does the world look like, even just real estate wise. Is the fact of like
Ugh.
you don't have the.
This
just
could be a whole other
here,
fishbowl.
You don't have not necessarily real estate market, but just like driving down the street.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even have to get in the real estate market, but right now you would drive down the street and you would see Target, Kohl's, things of that nature.
Like,
They're
what
as a
goes there?
contractor, it'd be tough. You got to go touch and feel. Like if you want some carpet or flooring, like I don't
Yeah.
think those are going away.
I
but
don't know, man. I'll tell you what, the only thing, when we dabble in remodel, repair, rebuild, new construction, whatever, the only thing that I really want to see in person would probably, no, nothing. Actually, I just thought
Oh,
about
I disagree with
it.
that.
Maybe countertop.
I,
We've picked out floor online. We can do, you know what? Because honestly, like at this point too, like I know what brands of flooring I like to have installed. So it's like, like I'm pretty sure we picked this out online
yeah.
and we put it in the whole shop.
Yeah, but we've installed that same floor like at least 10 times.
Sure.
I mean, even think of our clients though. Like old fence times, I'm sure you did want to come and touch and feel, and you did. People don't even want to do that anymore.
No, that's
I will
true.
say the
We
number of
offer it,
clients
but-
that come in is less every year. Like I remember when we were on Callahan, I feel like it'd be daily. We'd have 10, 12 clients in the door.
Yeah.
And we just don't see, like business has to be conducted so efficiently and slim, efficiently and quickly just to attract our client. Because like let's be real, like fencing's an accessory thing. So, people are working pretty hard to pay for this service. Like, they don't want to come in here and sit for an hour consultation. Not many of them.
And pictures are so good, thanks to Milo.
Yeah.
And you can, as long as you're explaining people, they don't really. So that's already something in contracting that would go away. Because I was gonna say, if you're buying something for your own house, you're not as worried about.
Sorry
it.
for that banging. I'm sure you can hear that. We have a fabrication shop on the other side of that wall.
But for a client, you would imagine, okay, my client wants to touch this or touch that. But, I mean, really, even in our business, they don't. So even to that point, back to the what it would look like thing, I mean, what happens to all these stores and malls and things? Like, is it a ghost town? Probably not. Do you use it for housing? Do you use it for,
The aging boomer generation.
like, 10
I mean,
years,
condos.
It's sad.
See, what's
It kinda
interesting
makes me
is,
sad.
these businesses have to sort of adapt and do a lot more business online, right? So especially competing with Amazon.
Yeah.
You see Walmart's doing something similar to an Amazon Prime account where it's like Walmart Plus or something. I don't know what it's called. But they on their website, they carry items that aren't in stock at the local Walmart supercenters, but it's just online, kind of like Amazon. And I mean, I'm sure that's in direct competition with Amazon.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd say Amazon's only competitor, true competitor, would be it's only Walmart.
Yeah.
But I think the question was, how long?
How long? 5
How
years.
long?
So 5?
Okay, I'll extend
That's
that.
quick.
I will
Okay.
say by 2030, I think we could even, like, Target's closed some Targets this last year. Like, you're talking about the Target franchise choosing to close stores. We can fact check this real quick. I believe Target has closed multiple locations. Starbucks has closed some.
Lies. No Starbucks is closing.
So why would that affect Starbucks?
Well, I mean, there's usually Starbucks and Target, so maybe they're.
Target closes
Oh,
select
close
stores to prioritize team members.
Oh, because staffing.
Safety, it says. Complete
We
list
really
of
mean
shut down
staffing.
stores in October. This is this month, all right? Let's see. And they're citing that it's like due to theft and retail crime, but also like, okay, New York City market, Seattle market, San Francisco, Oakland market, and the Portland market. So in that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's 9 stores right there they decided to close.
So now you can buy your cups on the black market. Instead of $20, $10.
I don't know. It just makes me curious though, because also it's like probably 10 years ago too, you started seeing the Walmart marketplaces opening that were just food.
Yeah.
And there's one on Western Avenue when we were living over there. There was that one that opened there. Like I wonder, like, is that more beneficial to Walmart to have like a traditional and then also have a marketplace that's in a different location? And I think those are probably the only realities of retailers hustling to ensure that their death sentence isn't written right now. Like this Target, what's Target's online platform like?
They have an app,
Okay.
but they don't have a lot of like online stuff. It's mostly they're still pushing the like pick it up at the store.
Yeah. Which, and like really even thinking back to like watching like TikToks or fail armies or whatever, like all these delivery driver bloopers you see, it's Amazon, UPS, and Walmart.
And
Like,
FedEx.
and FedEx, but I'm not saying you're not seeing like a Target box on the porch when the dog gets out and chases the driver down. You know, it's typically a Walmart. It's mostly Amazon.
But Target makes their money by getting the mamas like me that stroll through there and buy a bunch of crap that they don't really need.
And they always got that section right when you walk in where everything's like under
The
$5.
dollar
There's some
spot,
good
yeah.
stuff in there. If you got kiddos, it's a
Yeah.
dangerous spot.
But the world evolves so fast right now, it could be 5 years.
The energy on this
easy.
podcast is so low. Like the 4 of our energy. We're like
Logan's
mellow.
list.
We're
Logan's-
super mellow.
It's also Thursday. We're all a little worn out.
Thursday.
I haven't
Yeah.
bring the we need some of these. I got
Bring
a couple
the
Zens
noise.
still.
On this
Off a
episode, doing some Zens.
Dude, so yeah, we had a staff member coming today that he's like walking up to another staff member. He's like, "You got to try these. They give you a lot of energy." And he's like, "What are they?" And the staff member's like, "I don't know what they are. Just try one." And we look at the package and they're nicotine pouches from a non-tobacco user too. And he's just going 100 miles an hour. Woo, man.
Well, our 15 minutes is up for our fishbowl.
Yeah.
Alrighty, that's Fishbowl. That's
Cool.
our
That's
first trial.
Fishbowl.
Our
That's
first
our side of the
podcast.
fence.
That's our side of the fence, baby. Alrighty, adios.